Welcome back. In this video we are going to talk about ways to make selections in Photoshop. Now, as you'll see as we move forward with these videos, making good selections is one of the most important skills that you can master in Photoshop. And there's lots and lots of tools to do it. So we're going to be going over, a lot of the different ones that are available to you to make selections. I've got a picture loaded up here of some of the kids at my Thanksgiving dinner, and we're going to use this as just sort of a guinea pig as we make our selections today. The first thing I want to talk about for making selections are the marquee tools. The marquee tools are right over here, the second tool down in the toolbar. The marquee tools are the simplest selection tools, but also the ones that are the most limited. So we've got the rectangular marquee tool and the elliptical marquee tool. We've also got a single row and single column marquee tool, but we're not going to worry about those. We're going to worry about the rectangular and the elliptical. Keyboard shortcuts are M. Again, clicking Shift M would cycle you through them. So if I go to the rectangular one, you'll see that I can come down and just click and drag, and it makes a marquee. So this is a rectangular marquee, and if I were to go to my move tool now, I could drag that away, and that selection has been locked in. Now there's obviously better things that I will do with it than that. I'm going to deselect that, and deselect is up here under select, and we have the deselect right here, second one down. The keyboard shortcut is Command D, so I'm going to be pressing Command D throughout this demonstration to go over how to deselect things. Now when I'm working with the marquee tool, if I hold down the Shift button, it will grow in a perfect square, locks it so the height and width can't change. And if I hold down the Option button, it will grow out locked from the top there. So let's go look now at the elliptical marquee. The elliptical marquee is just a round marquee, so I can drag ovals, and if I were to hold down Shift on that, it would grow in a perfect circle. So I could just grab her head right there, go back to my move tool, and I've got my little round selection. So that is the elliptical marquee. Again, those are the most basic selection tools, and as you can see, they're really quite limited. Unless you're grabbing something that's a rectangle or a circle or an oval, they're not going to do you that much good. But they can give you a good starting point where you can then refine as you move forward. So let's look next. I'm going to zoom in a bit. Let's zoom in on him right here so we can see what we're grabbing. And let's look next at the lasso tools, which are down underneath the marquee tools. Keyboard shortcut for the lasso tools are L, and again, Shift L will cycle you through them. The first lasso tool, just the regular lasso tool, is basically just a free drawing loop. So I would come here and I could draw whatever I wanted, and I just want to end up back where I began, and now I have that as a selection. So that's just the regular lasso tool. It's again a great way to start a selection that you can then refine after the fact, but pretty imprecise because it relies upon freehand dragging. The next one we have under the lasso tools is the polygonal lasso tool. Okay, so that's the second one down. The polygonal lasso tool really works best if you're selecting objects with only straight edges. So you'll see that with something with a lot of shapes like this, it's not going to work very well. But if I was selecting, say, a stop sign, this would work fantastic. I just click, and then I let go of my click and go to the next position, click, let go of my click, and you see it just drags off a straight line everywhere that I click. So it's just where I'm clicking is creating a point, and then I go back to where I started, and that's now my finished selection. So that's the polygonal lasso tool. Again, a great tool for selecting objects if they only have straight edges. Now, the last one I want to look at here under the lasso tools is the magnetic lasso tool. I'm trying to see if we have somewhere where it would work well. It might work well on his head here. So the magnetic lasso tool is a tool that tries its hardest to stick to the edge. So I go here and I click right by his face there, and you'll see as I move down, it's paying attention to the colors and the differences and trying to follow the line that I want it to follow. So if I have a good amount of contrast between what I'm selecting and the surrounding elements, then this actually works very well. In this case, this would again just be more of a rough way for me to start a selection that I could then refine after that. So that is the magnetic lasso tool.